have someone to move the plot along.
Yep.
That lecture was so boring.
Mai walked beside me, a tray in her hands. We were shuffling through the cafeteria trying to find a seat.
Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably. That is true for today, too. Oh no. Hana, help me. I'm gonna die of boredom.
Oh no.
We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai.
What?
We already have work to do? How did you not hear that?
Mai sighed dramatically, then leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. I reached up to pat her head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it.
Oh god, Hana. Paul's walking over here. He's looking at you. Does he look angry at you? Why is he coming over here? Do you think he's gonna kick you again?
The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me. I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer.
Hey.
I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry to me. In fact, he was giving me an odd, lopsided smile. I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt or anything. You ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It was embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but to know that it made him feel bad was even worse. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped into my head. I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely.
You got the dokies.
Oh no. I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed a little too hard. He tilted his head to the side. It's a shame you're not wearing the uniform from yesterday. I like the pink splotches on you. It matched your hair. A deep, sick feeling crawled up from my stomach to sit in my throat. My dumb, stupid hair! Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. I thought the Neural Boots guys were different. He was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that to me?
Okay, but the thing is, no one could know that you aren't cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people who like go out of their way to dye their hair pink because it's super cute.
Yep.
And you're complaining about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm dyeing my hair kind of pink.
It seemed more purple to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like a light purpley pinky kind of color.
Yeah,
But
looks
it's
good.
like, people go out of their way to have that hair color,
Mhm.
and she's complaining about just having it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that... Hana,
Please,
Hana,
Hana.
please.
Anyway, not for the first time, I thought of dyeing it a different color, but quickly dismissed it. Paul was waiting for a response, by giving me a quick nod as if warning me not to mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping it was at least somewhat convincing.
It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, I'm more than happy to pay for the dry cleaning. Josh and Nick and I feel really bad about everything. We've never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess.
Thank you, but I was just gonna scrub it in the sink.
Dad and I could never afford things like dry cleaners, so I was surprisingly good at hand-washing things. That thing's gonna need more than just hot water and soap, trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's a natural with that kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later and bring your uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Without giving me time to say yes or no, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun quickly back around. I flinched. Are you and, Mai, right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria is pretty full right now. You can sit with us if you want, just for today.
Yes? Yes, we'll go. Right, Hana?
Lunch? With the Normal Boots Club? Maybe I really could be friends with them. And then no one would bother me again. Not about my hair or the ice cream incident, right?
Yeah.
Why does she keep assuming?
Well, probably, chances are pretty good that she was made fun of it for, like, in the last previous school.
I guess, but like... I just don't get why she keeps assuming that people don't think it's cool here.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's pretty evident that there are some girls who do have... I mean, Mai is kind of debatable to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, that's red.
Yeah.
Not, like... I don't know. It's such a weird topic because they're making it very evident that this is, like, the whole anime trope where, like, the main character has whatever color hair.
Yeah.
And that's why they're the main character.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like it's also taking place in 2016 theoretically.
Yes.
Where a lot of girls do have dyed hair nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know a lot of people who they dye their hair 3 times a week.
Yep.
Just because they want to change it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's weird to me that, first of all, Hana thinks that everyone's making such a big deal about her hair color,
Mm-hmm.
but also that she's very against dyeing her hair.
Yeah.
When people do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It might also be like they're trying to stage it in Japan where that's not as big of a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
well,
it's more of a cultural thing here than it is in Japan for women to dye their hair, I think.
I see. I don't really know what the scenario is in Japan, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. Hana seems really weird about that to me.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Yeah.
But yes, please.
All
right, follow me, ladies. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria where the Normal Boots Club sat with a table all to itself. Hey, you found her. You're Hana, right? I nodded, blushing as I took a seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai forced herself between Jared and PBG. Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from forming huge hearts. Real subtle.
Mai, please go get some water. Please.
Or at least a soda.
You are thirsty, girl.
So Hana, we saw that you were upset and we're all worried. Are you feeling better? PBG looked at me, clearly concerned. My heart was beating hard against my chest, but I wasn't sure whether it was because I was nervous or because the sad look on his face made me want to give him a hug. Or maybe it was because I was about 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm's length away from all the other guys. As I tried valiantly to open my mouth, whispers sped across the lunchroom. Renee, that's you.
Look at those girls over there. Who do they think they are? How come they get to sit there? I wish Senpai would notice me. Main characters get all the luck.
Suddenly, my thoughts turned dark. Start playing like the heavy metal music here, because we're going dark now. Could it be that by getting close to these guys, I was setting myself as a target instead of getting protection? My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PBG was looking at me, even more worried than before.
I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in the way. I'm sorry for causing such a scene. I should have controlled myself better.
I hung my head. I wasn't sure how to act around these guys, so I defaulted to extremely polite. My father would have been proud.
Hana.
Hey, Hana, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault, right, Paulie? Nick shoved Paul, who looked exasperated. I apologized as best I could, Nick. Give me a break. It was a relief that PBG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else was paying me or Mai any attention. Shane, however, was still shooting me quick, suspicious glances. It was almost like he didn't want me there, and I felt uncomfortable.
Hey, Hana.
How do you like it here so far, Hana?
Good. How about you? I mean, I like it here. Thank you.
Gerard smiled at me, then turned away. I picked at my food. The guys were all wrapped up in their own conversations, and Mai was busy preventing hyperventilation from being so close to Jared.
My, please. My, you need some chill.
Get an ice pack there, please.
Please, I can feel his body heat.
Oh dear.
Thanks.
You doing okay, Hana? A smiling Satch turned to me. I know we can be overwhelming. You're fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Thank you. Thanks for recommending me that book, by the way. It's been really good.
Do you like it? That's great. I figured you would.
It's really funny, but the narrator's kinda annoying.
What? But I'm the narrator! Yeah, he can be a bit rude. He pushed up his glasses, then grinned at me.
Okay. Alright.
You were pretty quiet, but I knew there was more to you. I winced.
Sorry, I can be a bit of a wallflower.
No need to apologize. I'm sure we've all been wallflowers before. But that reminds me, the Flower Festival. He turned to the group, addressing them all, and as if on cue, they all suddenly turned to pay him attention. Who are you all taking this year? Right,
Oh boy.
right, the Flower Festival. Miss Shizuka mentioned it before.
What is the Flower Festival? No one's explained it to me yet.
Well,
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have those at your old school? We did have festivals at my old school, but they were basically just 40 kids grouped in one room sharing snacks they brought from home.
Well, we had something kind of like them, but I stopped going. Really? Aw, why not? They're so fun.
I didn't really want to answer. There was no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, so when I went, people pretended I didn't exist. But Mai was waiting for an answer, and everyone else was looking at me.
I'm just not into that stuff, I guess. Oh, well, maybe you'll like this one more. The Flower Festival happens all over Japan around this time of year, but it's a big deal in Higanbana. That's the town right next to Asagao. There's apparently some kind of myth about flowers that's somewhat important.
Supposedly, the founder of Higanbana was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. Died of thirst, I think that's Mai. This flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return to his vow to protect her home. He agreed, and she drained herself of all her water so he could drink. The man founded Higanbana to watch over the meadow in which he met the flower. In some versions of the myth, the man the flower spirit fell in love. It's a truly romantic festival. One may hope to find someone with which to make a vow of eternal love, just as the man and the spirit did, and to live on to protect the one they love. Jared winked, and Mai swooned. So during the day of the Flower Festival, there's a lot of stalls set up, and you can go play games and eat food or go flower viewing. Then at night, there's a special meadow over by the temple where you can go watch the flowers. And there's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year. Asagao sells paper flowers in a little booth to raise money for the school, too. So there's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for people who are good at origami.
Origami? I'm good at origami.
really?
Really? Shane is too. Maybe you should work together.
Oh no.
Shane gave a tight-lipped smile. Somehow I didn't think that would be happening.
Hey.
Hey, speaking of, I hear you were directed 10 girls last festival season. I mean, that's nothing compared to me, naturally. But there were so many girls with broken hearts, even I couldn't mend them all. You still hung up on your English girlfriend?
What?
Shane flinched, visibly taken back. Then he shrugged. I don't talk to her anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped away a fake tear. Shane grimaced. How great would it be if someone asked me? Maybe even if one of the normal boots guys did. No, I doubt that would ever happen. They were only letting me sit here because they physically assaulted me.
Well, yeah, I mean...
I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife.
You cannot cut steak with a plastic knife, usually.
Yeah.
That's some bad quality steak.
Yep.
Or some really good knives.
Oh, yeah. So, any girls in mind, fellas? Besides me, Mai shifted nervously. Her eyes kept flicking from Jared to her french fries. She looked like a child who stole several cookies. Jared spread out his arms and raised an eyebrow, a god waiting for names to fall into his lap. I'm thinking of going solo this year, to be honest. Yeah. Same. Man, you guys are boring. You aren't much better, man. I am on another level compared to you guys. I've already got my choice picked out. There was a quiet clattering next to me. Mai dropped her fork.
Mai, please.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. It'll probably be a new choice tomorrow. Jared flipped his hair with his hand. You know me so well. There's only so much time to make so many different girls' dreams come true. I must find the one who is most in need. So it's not even about which one you like, huh? Nope! And you make fun of me.
Mean, at least you're honest.
Yep. Just then, the warning bell rang. It was time to head back to class. As everyone got up to toss their trays, I stood up and, overwhelmed with a sudden burst of feeling, shouted.
Thank you for letting me and Mai eat lunch with you today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. Hana was having a terrible day, and you guys cheered her right up. So, see you guys again tomorrow, same time?
Mai tilted her head, winking.
Hi. Paul said we could only sit with them today.
Ah, it's cool. Paul waved a hand in dismissal, almost dropping his tray with the other. The cafeteria is really crowded, and we have an extra room at our table. People are too afraid to sit with us or something. Well, we did kick a girl yesterday. All three of them shrugged at the same time, then left the room, moving in unison like a team of synchronized swimmers. Jared dumped his tray and jogged to catch up with them. As soon as they were out of earshot, Mai took my hands in hers and jumped up and down.
Thanks for peeking the mic there, Mai.
Beautiful.
You did it, Hana. We get to sit at the popular table. I've been trying to do this for 2 years, and you did it in 2 days.
She dropped our hands and made a, jokingly, I think, angry face.
Main characters have all the fun. Mai, please respect the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Please learn to respect the fourth wall.
Or else the fourth wall won't learn to respect you.
You'll be in pairs. Painting a diorama or a paper mache lamp. Anything postmodern. Then write a paper on design. Or don't. That works too. But remember, this project will count for 10% of your final grade, so work hard. Sound good?
So this is like within the first week, and she's giving you a project that's worth 10% of your final grade.
Third day.
Yeah.
Third day. Day 3.
And she's not even being very specific with the instructions, and it's like, oh yeah, write a paper about it, or don't, you know, whatever. It's like, jeez.
I totally. That was. I'm gonna be totally honest. So, when I was in high school, I took a computer science class.
Yeah.
That was like video game and app design.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much what our class was.
Oh wow.
They just gave us. They set us at computers. They gave us like tutorials on Photoshop to do sprites and tutorials on. I think it was Alice was the program we used, and Maya.
Yeah.
And they said have fun.
Oh my goodness.
And that was our entire class, was us sitting at computers and we were supposed to be making a video game, like
Mhm.
that was our final,
Yeah.
and they all turned out really well, but the fact that they pretty much said, okay, if you have any questions, come ask us, but you're pretty well on your own,
Mm-hmm.
kind of made the class a bit better, but it was also like this, it was extremely vague. We
Yeah.
had like a couple kids that made, I know one group made like a Toho ripoff,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of, like most of us made platformers, because
Yeah.
it was the easiest thing to make in the program,
Gotcha.
but there was like one kid who made like an app that let you, like it did something to do with your taxes for you or something,
Mm-hmm.
because it was also an app design class.
Yeah.
And there were a couple kids. One guy had done like a full RPG
Oh,
in
nice.
this program that we had got, and no one knew how he did it, but it was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I remember I had an art class kind of like that, except it was more so just if you're drawing in the class, you get an A, pretty much. And so I did all sorts of ridiculous things, drawing like my fan characters and drawing out more detailed versions of sprites from video games, stuff like that. And I got an A in the class because I was drawing stuff every day.
Yeah, I had an AP art class that was sort of like that,
Mhm.
where we were on our own for the entire class, but we had to turn something in at the end of every month and
Mhm.
do like a big critique thing.
Yeah,
But you couldn't do the same, use the same medium each
gotcha.
month. So like 1 month, I remember like I tried doing a clay thing, but it didn't turn out because I was terrible at clay.
Hmm.
But it was all for the learning experience kind of thing.
Yeah,
Classes like that are often pretty easy.
yeah,
But
they are.
that's what makes them also really fun, because you're challenging yourself in your own way. It's not the teacher saying, "Oh, we're gonna all do this today."
Yeah.
And I
This
think
is this is typically in more artistic classes anyway, where you have to have the inspiration to do the thing, you know?
But I think that's what makes those kind of art classes better,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, because like when a teacher sits down and says, "Okay, we're all gonna make this thing, and then I'm gonna grade you on who does it best," it's like, but it's art.
Yeah, I had an art class like that once, and it was terrible. It was an absolutely
That-
terrible class.
That was most of my intro, like grade 9, 10 art classes, and then
Yeah,
11 and 12 I was in the AP stuff, and then it got fun.
nice. Alright, let's, yeah. The only response was a bitter murmuring. Miss Shizuka often ended with, "sound good," but never really cared about the answer.
Alright, in the last few minutes of class, pick your partners and discuss your project plan. We'll continue next time.
In a matter of seconds, almost all the desks in the classroom connected. I looked at but a girl, Mimi Santos, already had claimed her. Mai frowned at me as if to apologize. I scanned the classroom for the few other people I met, finding them already paired. I was going to be the only one without a partner. Suddenly, the edge of a desk collided with mine.
Hey,
Guess we'll be working together! PBG sat in front of me with a cheeky grin.
That's the way to do it!
Yep. Didn't he sit on the other side of the room? How did he get his desk over here so quickly? I leaned over to look past him. He left a gaping hole and several collapsed students in his wake. Seeing my gaze, he turned around. Oh, oops, sorry. He waved sheepishly. A boy glared at him. Well, for better or worse, we're partners.
I guess we are. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing? Wait, no, that's not what I meant at all. You're super smart. I'm just worried I'm just sorry you're stuck with me.
You're pretty smart too, though, right?
Not that I knew. I guess. But I hate schoolwork. I don't care about it at all.
Well, that's a great thing to say to the person who you're relying on.
For 10% of the grade. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure that my dad was a teacher at the school that I went to, the private school that I went to. And I would not be surprised if Austin was actually one of his students at one point or another. So, that probably didn't go well. Anyway, 10% of our grade depended on this project. Oh, not that I'm gonna make you do it all. I mean like school, but I'm not gonna let someone else fail just because I think it sucks. I haven't done something like that since I was a kid. The girl got so mad I learned my lesson. He laughed, hitting the desk and crinkling his nose. I didn't see what was so funny, but from the way he was looking at me, it seemed like I should. I smiled hesitantly. He stopped laughing and frowned at me, the same way he did yesterday. Do you like apple cider?
I'm sorry?
Or, pinball? What about magnolias?
Yeah, I guess I do.
You... Yes, you do? But... you... He sputtered, opening and closing his mouth like he was trying to eat the air. I searched his face, wanting to help him out. He was clearly struggling. PBG leaned forward, looking into my eyes like he was deciphering a code. Really forward, so close I could see the little brown flecks in his eyes forward.
What?
PBG moved away, his anxious look fading into a slight smile. Actually, don't worry about it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I was brainstorming a subject for a piece, but you didn't have any strong reactions to anything, so I guess we won't be doing those then. Like hell. The bell rang and students started packing up.
Oh no, we didn't get to pick a project.
I'm sorry, that's my fault. I was messing around. But don't worry, I'll come up with something. Just leave it to me! He thumped his chest as he got out of his chair, stirring a pose and giving me a wide, reassuring smile. He shuffled his desk back to the side of the room as I packed my things away. I didn't understand what happened, but maybe it was better to forget about it. He didn't seem to want to explain. I left the classroom, thinking to wait for Mai, but instead PBG trailed me into the hallway. He cleared his throat and I returned to face him. I tilted my head back in uncomfortable degree. He was tall, but he was scratching his neck, avoiding eye contact. So, I know you said you were fine at lunch, but are you sure you're okay? I mean, you were really freaked out yesterday, so... He crept its way into my face.
No, I'm alright.
As long as you're fine. If you need help with anything, you can rely on me, though. Especially since... The uncertain look crossed his face again. Well, never mind. Are you heading back to the dorms?
Yes.
Nice, me too. We can go together. He pumped his fist in the air. I glanced into the classroom. Mai was still talking to Mimi, looking like she was about to rip the girl's head off. She wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah. Sure, let's go.
But as we turned to leave the hall, we were interrupted by someone wearing a yellow and gray jacket. The rival club's jacket. This is Space Hamster!
Yeah.
And I subscribed to him pretty much just because he had hamster in his username.
Of course you would.
But you know what? He still makes good content anyway, so yeah. My heart stopped. Standing before us was a tall man with cheekbones like no tomorrow.
That's accurate.
Yeah. I didn't recognize him from our class, which must mean he was one of the other Hidden Block members. I didn't know whether I should scoff at him or ignore him, but before I could do anything, PBG held out his hand for a high five.
Hey.
Hey, Jeff! Jeff returned the gesture, and the two locked into a conversation.
Hey, what's up?
PBG! You pumped about the soccer match?
Yeah.
Yeah! I've been waiting for this all summer.
Right on.
Are you busy? I'm trying to get the team together right now for a last-minute practice. You in? I am so in! I have nothing to do for the rest of the day. Are my cleats still in your locker? Yep. Awesome, let's go then. Jeff briefly looked at me and pointed. PBG turned around, surprised I was still waiting.
Hana.
Oh, Hana! Sorry, I gotta go. See you in class tomorrow. I'll make sure to bring my thinking cap. He put on an invisible cap, then gave me a thumbs up. Oh, wait! Do you want to come to our game? It's in a few weeks, in the first one of the year. So it'd be cool if you came to watch us. Mostly me, because I'm the star player. Wow, thanks. And so here we have another one of the choices. And once again, this will determine whether or not PBG is available to date or not. And as such, I'll be clicking, of course.
Yeah. That sounds really fun. I'd love to come.
Woo! Thanks! That really means a lot to me. Usually the first game doesn't conjure a big crowd.
Can I bring Mai?
She might have planned on going anyway, but she was always including me in things. I want to do the same for her. Hannah is being a good friend.
She is.
Yeah.
Totally! Bring as many people as you want! Fill up the stands! I don't think we're gonna do that, but you know.
Yeah, probably not.
We can try.
Mhm.
He left with Jeff and I headed back to the dorms.